You are a master at marketing. You know why?
Why is
Because
that?
you sent me this.
He still got it. 100. Yeah.
You made me the most annoying person in the world.
Just carry it with you everywhere you go
I'm
and
gonna
just drop
bless
them.
you with just one of them.
All right, hit me with it. Hit me with it.
What did E.T.'s mother say to him when he returned home?
Phone home. I don't know what.
Where on earth have you been? That's it. That's
I'm
it.
mad. I'm mad too because I have a book and I was like, should I bust it out? So I'm gonna get you with one by the end.
All right, all right. So listen, let's get to what's more important right here. And what's more important here is what's in it for the people watching us
Yes,
and what
man.
can they learn from. All right, Billy, just give me, I'm not even going to ask you questions because I know that you and I were kind of like, we go through this every day and we have a bunch of people asking us the same questions. So we know the same questions that are generally asked by everybody. So what right now can you tell people who are lost and they're trying to find their way in the marketing world, or not in the marketing world? I mean, you're always marketing even when you're talking. When they're
Yeah.
trying to find their way on their platforms. I'm not sure what their platform is. Yesterday I was talking to Avin from Aquaball, and he said Pinterest is rocking for him.
Oh
So
wow. Okay.
I look at every platform as a different place, a different party, right?
Yeah.
You come into the party dressed up, or you come in the party grunge, or you come to the party with a big bow tie.
That
Tell us
that
about the
LinkedIn
party.
versus Facebook versus IG. I'll tell you.
Yeah,
You know, I think the biggest thing, regardless of the platform, that people are missing right now, the example I like to use is that there's a lion in the room. And what I mean by that, like you and I are talking right now. So people are in the chat, etc. If there was a lion, a real big ass lion behind you right now, and imagine if I just continued to sell my widget. Like I'm selling pencils and I'm like, hey guys, you should buy my pencil. But there's a lion behind Damon. Everybody be like, Billy, are you kidding me? You don't, yo, there's a lion behind you. Are you gonna warn him? Yeah, and they'd be screaming, they would be freaking out. They would hear nothing I'm saying about my product. So I
right.
feel like that's where people are really missing the boat is they're like, I'm not going to get involved in politics. I'm not going to get involved in this race stuff. I'm not going to get involved in mask or no mask. I'm not going and they're falling on deaf ears because people got a freaking lion, right? Like there's 40 million jobs lost in the US or whatever. And the fact that people are trying to not enter the conversation is an automatic L. You cannot win when people cannot focus on your message. So to me, that right there is huge. And we made the mistake. So back in March, when that was happening, our whole thing was like, let's go help companies scale. For the last year, that's been our thing. Hey, you want to go to 8 figures, etc. Like, let us help you scale and grow. But when we started using that message in March and everybody was freaking out, people were ignoring it. They're like, yo, I'm not trying to scale. I'm not trying to grow. I'm trying to survive. I'm trying to figure out if I need to cut my staff, etc. So I sat with my team and I'm like, it was really uncertain then too. No one knew what was going to happen. So I'm like, we need to create something new. And I said, what's the question that everybody is wondering right now? What is the freak out? If I jump into the conversation of entrepreneurs, what are they thinking? And we came up with this. If I lost it all, here's exactly what I do in 30 days to get it back. I said, for 30
Mm.
days, I'm going to go live with you every day for 30 days. I'm going to send you a video of exactly what to do. If I lost it all, I had to start from scratch, etc. We launched that. I think we did 500,000 in the first couple of days. Boom, just like that. Just with the pivot of message. Now, granted, it's the same shit I teach regardless of any economy, which is advertising. Like, you're going to need customers. If things are going good, you want to grow faster. If things are going bad, you desperately need customers. It doesn't matter. But that pivot of messaging, our sales took off. Like they went crazy, and it's been really good since. But those kind of pivots, like addressing the line in the room, all the ads that I did during that time too, this was critical, were not highly produced. Like I like to write stuff, be creative, etc. But when I was showing up then, it was take out my cell phone, go on my balcony at the crib, and just let people know like this is what's going on. No fancy, no frills, no nothing. And that formula, it took off.
All right, so let me touch on a little bit of that. So because at first, I'm a very literal person, and so you're saying the lion in the room is not necessarily the politics or necessarily the COVID. It's just getting narrow and deep, saying, I know you're suffering from whatever the environment is, but here is your answer. Because again, sometimes when people are more literal and somebody may be taking from you. So do I just talk about wearing a mask and people are dying, or
I see what you're
the
saying.
politics? Because what can happen in that line could be, some people could say, wait a minute, I could watch that crap on the news all the time. I'm coming to you because I don't want to hear it. You're saying, I'm not talking specifically and granular about religion, politics, and or COVID. I'm talking about you're challenged right now, and I understand it. I have empathy for you because I'm challenged. You're challenged. I've either been there, or even if you're not challenged, the information I'm going to give you, you can pass on to somebody in your family or somebody who is challenged. But I know that that's what it is, and we need to talk about it today. I can't give you this long 10-year plan. Is that what you're saying?
So it's a piece of that, and then even diving in a step further. So like, say I'm selling, I don't know, vacuum cleaners or something. Like if I'm selling vacuum cleaners, I want to talk specifically about how right now in this moment in time, why vacuum cleaners are relevant. Like you got to clean your house because it helps reduce germs that can spread to da-da-da-da-da. Like jump directly in the conversation. Or like, you know, when the protests and the riots were happening, people were really concerned of like, do you say Black Lives Matter, all lives matter? So like if you're selling your thing, start off and say, hey, Black Lives Matter. I don't care if you think all lives matter, but the one thing that matters is green lives matter. You need money to pay your bills. Like insert it in your actual messaging. Say it, or it feels like you're talking as if you're ignoring everything that's going on. You know what I mean? People, you know, tone deaf or whatever they're labeling it as, whatever that is. But like, yeah.
And are you talking to who do you? I mean, of course, you're talking to the people that support you first, right? Because they're looking to you to say, what do you got? But how do you start introducing that to more people? Or do you do over the first, is it the 10 or 30 days that you say, no, I'm over providing for the people that respect me, value me, and the people that I respect and I value. And if I see that it is effective enough, I introduce it to new people, or I ask them to introduce it to other people because it's of value to them.
So we're actually spending a lot of money on cold traffic. People who have no idea who Billie Jean's marketing is, never heard of us, because it's the one time where everybody's going through the same shit. Like you go anywhere in the world, the same topics are relevant. And like you never have that, right? And so it's so universal. And then the other side that people are sleeping on is right now, Facebook, since I've been doing this the last like 12 years or something, I've never seen it this cheap since like 12 years ago. It's so cheap because it's not competitive. So like back in March and April, the first budget that people were cutting, honestly, was their marketing budget. They're like, I'm not going to spend money on marketing right now. I need to save that money. And that's backwards, because the way that Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all those things, when you advertise, everyone listening, you got to realize it's an auction site. And the way that auctions work, if there's more people bidding, you pay more. So if there's 100 people bidding on, this red cup, it's going to get pretty expensive. If there's 3 people bidding on the red cup, it's going to be way cheaper. And so right now we're like, everybody's afraid of social media and advertising. They don't know what to say. Is it the right time to say? Like, should I go there? Do I talk to new audiences? And we're just sitting here in the back like, okay, y'all go think about it, and we're going to take advantage. So we have been advertising probably heavier than we ever have, and it's working really well.
Wow, that's important information. I didn't know, because, listen, it's a big world out there. And the last thing I heard, right? So
yeah.
I can't say I heard because, it came from my staff. But, I was told that Facebook had changed its algorithm a year or 2 years ago. It became too expensive, and there were different reasons why, because maybe they were hit with so many government regulations.
Hey,
they had to pay for a lot of
listen to this. Listen to this, okay? I told my team on our huddle up today, and this is a legit mistake I made, okay? So, doing something for 12 years, sometimes you get a little overconfident or arrogant. At least I did, right? And I'm like, dude, I've seen everything on Facebook. You can't tell, you're not going to show me something I haven't seen. I thought I knew. So to give perspective, when we're advertising that, that 30 days of Genius program to help people go from scratch, usually our cost per sell was around $70 to $150 to like $200. It ranged, okay? I went to my buddy Chase Hero's place. Shout out to Chase Hero, who does advertising. And I was talking to him on the phone. He's like, yo, we're killing it right now. And I was like, you know what, man? Like, can I come to your office and like see what you're doing? And he's like, yeah, of course. Like, come through. So I brought my marketing team. I came up. We talked to him for 3 hours. He's doing everything the exact opposite of how we do it. But he's doing way bigger numbers right now. So I'm sitting here listening and I'm like, why the hell am I not testing that? And he's saying all the things that I'm getting. And I'm like, whatever. So I come back, and this is real time. This happened today and yesterday. We test the strategy he's using on Facebook. Our cost reduced from that $70 to $200 range to $15 cost per sale. 15. And the product cost $100. Like the average card is $111. Just imagine that. You spend 15, you make $111. That's what happened. And the mistake was the fucking arrogance and overconfidence that I was having to, even though I'm really good at advertising, to forget that there's other people who are really good too. And I could be learning from them. So I got mad at myself because I was like, if I pick that up from him in 3 hours, what if I was doing that with every single day with other people who are spending a lot of money? What else am I missing and I'm not trying? But literally right now, I woke up at 3:30 this morning because I was so excited because I've never seen conversions on something like this so low. I couldn't even sleep because I'm like, my life's going to change forever. Now, granted, a lot can go wrong. It can all go down. You know what I mean? There's a lot of variables. Yeah. But just that arrogance, it just got me. And it was the biggest lesson to me because I'm just like, wow, I could have called him 2 years ago. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you know, I get it. Listen, I'm too close to. Listen, a lot of times we can be too close to it too. You know, like, and I always tell the story of Bombas socks when they came on. I was like, whatever, socks. You know, I got 10 clothing companies. You know what I'm saying? And by the way, 8 of them are dead. But you know what I mean? And then I learned from these guys. So because business is being done a whole new different way, and sometimes you don't think about things like that. But how do you expand your business if you don't keep learning? And you know what? Maybe you would have tried exactly what he was saying and it didn't work. Or at least you tried something. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And it couldn't have grown unless I tried. So I told that to my team today, and I'm just like, when you really look at all the departments, right? Like, well, what are we not doing on customer service side to help, tickets? What are we not doing on the sales side, by not talking to other people? So like an exercise for everybody listening, I'm telling you, you have, like, what I recommend to everybody, whatever your role is, even if you have a company or you're within a company, find 10 other people who do exactly what you do. Start a group chat on Slack. I heard y'all talking about Slack yesterday, on Slack or WhatsApp, and just get in the group and everybody just chat and share what's working. I guarantee you, no matter what aspect of life it is, it will make everybody more money. Or if it's about relationships, right? Find 10 other couples. Hey, we tried this, It will get you results. On the fitness game, I'm in the last 73 days, I'm down 42 pounds right now. But it's because, thank you. But it's because I got a trainer and I got on my shit and I decided. But then another one, I called up my guy, Alex Ramosi. I'm like, bruh, you're in shape as hell right now. What are you doing? He's like, I work out every day. No days off, no matter what. So I did it. And I'm on a 73-day streak. But again, I obviously know that. But hearing him say it as a person that has the results, I'm like, okay. And it changed it for me. And I'm in the groove and I have, you know what I'm saying? So like all those things, I'm just like, damn, they all come from asking for help. When did I get so cool? And I'm always investing in the coaches and shit, but when did I get so cool, Eric, whatever you want to, lazy, complacent? When did I get those things? I'm not in the conversation. How much better would my life be if I did that?
But where do you get into that group chat where you rise with everybody else, they accept you? Because you all right, so you got certain people that are at a certain level, and let's say you have 10 people in that group chat, and 7 of them are brilliant, and the other 3 they haven't gotten to that level yet, but the other 3 are now doing too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, hitting too many people, whatever the case is, and you're like, yo, why am I even in here? Or how are you all around the same level and you're saying, all right, I'm working on this and that, but how do I get into the next room? I'm just trying to figure that one out, because there's that healthy balance of, you understand what I'm saying.
100%. You don't want to waste the time.
I'm not sure if you have the answer, but sometimes I've done this. I put all my Shark Tank companies together and said, hey, let's all do a networking thing, and then one of them be like, yo, your man over there, tell your man, step on the brakes for a second.
The only thing that we do and we do this on the education side, right? And the only thing that I've found to be really successful that is just having different groups. Right? Like, hey, if you're underneath the $1 million mark a year, you're here. If you're underneath 7 figures here, you're 8 figures here. Because if not, it's just going to happen, right? Like, especially looking for high levels. So, like, for me, I told my tutor, I'm like, I'm going to start a group of mine, but you have to be spending at least $250,000 a month to that, you know what I mean, for that particular group. And then actually, ironically, I recommend everybody has 3 groups that they're in, because it's just a chat anyway, right? And make, you know, one of the groups where everybody is just getting started off and you can help and you can pour into them and get fulfilled that way. Have a third of them as your peers. You're on the same level doing the same shit and you're having fun, joking around, learning from them. And then have a third where you're the person in the room that's the troll. Like, how do you get in here? You need to make sure you're that too. Like, oh, I don't know if this guy can hang, because that's where you're gonna learn the most, right?
Somebody just put in here, and I see it happen on my thing all the time. Somebody said, what about robots? And most wealthy people are investing in robots. I know little to nothing about it. All I do know is that on Instagram, when I post something, I'm spammed by whoever the Forex Bitcoin traders are. And
yes, but hey, I made $1 million a day with Tiffany at da-da-da-da-da. I'm so thankful. Follow here.
Yeah.
Like, yo, I get it too. Hey, whoever has the answer, please tell me, because I hate that.